Welcome to Money Explained. Before we get started, I want you to take a second. Pause. Think about money. I'm not talking about the bills in your pocket, or the number in your checking account. Think about the concept of money itself. Everything you assume about it. Where it began. What its purpose is. And why, no matter how tirelessly most people labor, they never really get in front. What if I told you the story you learned about money isn't merely incomplete? It's a fabrication. A lie told for so many generations. It now feels like plain fact. Stick with me on Money Explained. Because once you see this clearly, you will never view money, your job, or achievement in quite the same light. We often hear money described as a straightforward tool, an innovation meant to simplify things. The lesson is that long ago, everyone used barter. A farmer had wheat but needed boots. A cobbler had boots but needed steak. Swapping was clumsy, slow, and impractical. So the tale goes that money was then created. Coins were minted. Commerce got smoother. Society progressed. It seems logical. It sounds right. But the issue isn't that this story has gaps. The issue is that it obscures reality. History shows no proof that any society ever ran on pure barter, and then just invented money to solve its inefficiencies. Anthropologists researching early communities never uncovered chaotic marketplaces full of annoyed traders. They discovered something else entirely. They found frameworks built on remembrance, on standing, on mutual duty. People kept track of who did what for whom. They recalled good turns, shares of work, and what was owed. Not recorded in books, but held within the fabric of the community. This wasn't barter. This was credit. Credit was here long before money. Trust was here long before currency. Money didn't replace barter. Money replaced trust. And trust is hard to pin down. Trust can't be easily taxed. Trust resists central control. Money can. It was not trade between equals that birthed money. It emerged from authority. From empires, rulers, and kings. Large states faced a problem. They required armies. They required roads. They required administration. They needed people to labor for goals not of their own choosing. So currency was created by rulers and declared valuable by them. But to declare value was not sufficient. So they decreed that taxes be paid only in that currency. Now the people had no choice. To pay taxes, they needed currency. To earn currency, they needed to work inside the system. Money was not created to make life simpler. It was created to organize labor. And once labor is organized, behavior can be shaped. Debt made this system stronger still. Before money, debt was flexible. If someone struggled, the community adapted. With money, debt became fixed, measured, enforced. Debt could now be sold, transferred, inherited. Debt ceased to be personal. It became institutional. If you owe a person, you can plead your case. If you owe the system, there is no mercy. This is why debt never vanishes. It only changes form. Mortgages, student loans, credit cards, national debt. Debt ensures participation. A population free of debt is a population that can refuse. The system cannot allow that. People often believe money rewards hard work. But if that were true, the hardest workers would be the wealthiest. They are not. Money rewards ownership, access, position. Most people trade time for money. A small group owns assets that generate money without time. This is not accidental. This is structure. The system needs workers. More than it needs owners. It runs on people who wake up each day and sell their hours because they have no other choice. Fear is the pressure that keeps it functioning. Fear of lost income. Fear of missed payments. Fear of falling behind. Inflation quietly deepens that fear. Every year, money loses value. Prices climb higher. Savings erode. You work harder. Yet your effort buys you less. This isn't because you failed. It's because inflation moves wealth from those who save to those who control the creation of money. And yet this is never clearly taught. Schools teach discipline, schedules, obedience. They don't teach how money is created. They don't teach how banks create debt. They don't teach how inflation shifts wealth. Because understanding money changes how people behave. And the system doesn't want everyone to understand. It wants people to believe the problem is personal. That if you struggle, you just didn't try hard enough. You didn't sacrifice enough. But the truth is simpler and colder. You were trained to survive, not to escape. Money itself isn't evil. But it isn't neutral. It's a language of power. It decides who eats, who waits, who worries, who rests. The most effective systems of control are the ones people defend themselves. People protect money because they rely on it. They fear questioning it because survival seems to be on the line. But awareness shifts everything. Once you see money clearly, you stop worshiping it. You stop blaming yourself for results that were shaped by the structure. You start thinking differently about work, about time, about value. Because real freedom doesn't begin with more income. It begins with understanding why the system is built the way it is. Now you know the truth. The biggest lie about money was never about barter or coins. It was about control. Money didn't exist to make life easier. It existed to make power invisible. And once you see that, your clarity returns. Real freedom doesn't start with earning more. It starts with understanding the game. This is Money Explained. And now, you see, finally, how money really works.